Welcome to the Napa Valley Center for Spiritual Living. We are a vibrant, inclusive, and spiritual community that seeks to live intentionally, love unconditionally, and see God in all people and in all faiths. We believe the work we do in prayer and in the community creates a world that works for all cultures, races, orientations, and faiths. For over 60 years, we have practiced thinking globally and acting locally to help awaken humanity to its spiritual magnificence. Annually, hundreds of people actively participate in our services, classes, events, and in our Spanish-speaking ministry. And we are training the next generation of spiritual leadership in our ministerial school. In the last few years, because of apparent divisions politically and socially, and because of threats to basic human rights, we have magnified our application of Science of Mind principles with engagement and compassion in action in the greater Napa Valley community. Our members have participated in women's marches, pride events, and we have hosted speakers on racial issues. We have empowered and mentored diverse leaders in our community and given scholarships to diverse ministerial students. We have donated over 4,000 pounds of food to our local food bank. Our spiritual director, Reverend Jay Lang, has facilitated an interfaith leadership group to hold public prayer vigils and 9/11 commemorations in participation with Jews, Muslims, and Christians. We have fostered the creation of a beloved community in the larger Napa Valley area by honoring community heroes at events and tithing to and partnering with a dozen different nonprofits that share our vision. Together, we've created a Martin Luther King Day of Service where over 1,200 participated in community service annually. The leadership of our parent organization, the Centers for Spiritual Living, headquartered in Golden, Colorado, recognized our community for all of the outstanding, compassionate work we've been doing over the last few years with the 2022 Meritorious Community Award. As we move forward to do this work of the heart, to awaken the world to its spiritual magnificence, will you join us as we continue to ascend to new heights and create a world that works for everyone?
Check, check, check.
Morning, everybody.
You want to
Going to have some little, we're adjusting our sound as we go, sort of like a plane that's being built while we're moving to stay, while it's flying. But that's okay. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy all of you are here. It's the best day ever, right?
Yes.
The best day ever. So let's start with some music this morning. I'm Reverend Jay Lang, the spiritual director, and I want to introduce you Narayan and Janet here to bring us a little welcoming music.
Good morning. We're going to play this one by hand because the technology needs a cup of coffee. Our computer needs a cappuccino.
We're going to do the Welcome to the Center song. You all know it?
Yes.
So.
There it is. You can clap if you want.
NVCS.
L.
NVCS. L. NVCS. L. NVCS. L. Welcome to the center.
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 Everybody, welcome to the center.
Here we go. I'm bold. I'm beautiful.
I'm bold. I'm beautiful.
I'm change. I'm powerful.
I'm change. I'm powerful.
I'm great. Let's celebrate.
I'm great. Let's celebrate.
great. Let's celebrate.
We're great. Let's celebrate. NVCS. L. NVCS. L.
NVCS.
L. NVCS.
I'm loved. I'm grateful.
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 Welcome to the center.
Here it comes. Welcome to the center.
Welcome to the center. So lovely to start. So thank you everybody for being here today. It's a lovely day. It's a new member Sunday. We have 8 new members today. I'll introduce you to later on. But for now, I just want to welcome you to being here and the beautiful day that it is today. The sun is shining, and right where you are, Spirit is. So good to know that. We'd like to begin the service with our vision and mission statement. There's been a mix-up of slides, so no telling where it is, but we know it. It's there somewhere. Maybe it's not. So repeat with me. We are an inclusive community for spiritual growth and compassionate action. And we are co-creating a world that works for everyone by living intentionally, loving unconditionally, and seeing God in all people and all faiths. That particular affirmation, that particular vision in the last two, seeing God in all people and all faiths, has been an inspiration for me when we continue to be such a divided country, faith-wise, politically. And I just want to continue, no matter who I see or what I experience, that I let that go and know God is in all people and all faiths. And we continue to affirm that individually and as a community. So that's great. I also want to share with you about, after sharing the story about Nathan Glad last week, and if you weren't here last week, he's a young man who struggles with brittle bone syndrome, and yet, despite all his challenges, he continues to say today is the best day ever, and find what to be grateful for and what to find love in. Just very inspirational. Well, Bob Fioretti was our community member who shared that with me, and he sent me a text later on that showed that he knows Nathan's grandmother, and sent an image of me talking about Nathan on the screen, like he took a picture of it at home. He was streaming it from home, and sent that to his grandmother, and she was so excited that his joy was being spread with other communities. So that was nice. And she also said that he just went through a surgery, one of his, I don't know how many, dozens and dozens of surgeries he had, and yet today was his best day ever. And I think, boy, that's inspiration for me. So we're glad to be a part of that as well. I want to let you know a few things going on here. This starts the window for our green bag donations. We collect non-perishable food in green bags, bring them to the center between now and the 11th. Next Sunday can be during the week. You can drop them off, and then we take them to the food bank, and they're part of making sure that there's not food insecurity for children and families here in the Valley. So we're so glad to be part of Napa Can Do and part of this program. And also wanted to let you know another one that we're involved in. We're in cooperation with the Napa Can Do and other faith communities and nonprofits in this Pro-Inclusion Napa, which is a response to some of the hatred. I'll tell you that we just last week we had some more distributed in neighborhoods, and evidently it was more widespread than I thought. And one response that we're just doing, the interfaith community and I are doing some signs that you can post yourself in your neighborhood. One says, "Love reigns, hate has no power here." As love belongs in Napa, hate has no home here. So both of those are available out in the lobby, that if you want to take some of those and post them on, telephone poles. Some of our light poles aren't wood, so you can't staple them in there, but you could tape them on. We'd appreciate it. And just let people know that there's something more to Napa. And matter of fact, the people, they know, they have video of the cars that distribute them, and they came from out of town. It's not somebody in town. So we know that love is the truth of who we are in all ways. And then also on the 23rd, we changed the unbottled concert from a Saturday to a Friday in the next week because we had a cancellation musician we had scheduled. So we're excited that Astor Fox will be here on Friday the 23rd at 6:30, but the same format where we have the tables and the chairs, and if you want to reserve one for yourself or somebody else or for a group of people, feel free to do that. You can do that online. We'll have things set up, the same courtyard, the same community we have here. It's really been, so far, the two we've had have been a great community raising that we're having. And invite friends and family, invite people to come, and the public is invited to come. It's open to all, so let's fill up the courtyard. It's fun to have everybody here for that. And then also I want to let you know, we showed a viewing of Bad Faith, and I'll talk more about that in my talk today, about the concerns about Christian nationalism and how it's not Christian. It's more of a political power movement, and we want to call it out for what that is, to actually be a movement of white supremacy. And we're not taking sides politically, but we're taking sides on rights and against racism in that way. So we showed it here, and then there's going to be two more showings, more public showings, one on September 9th at the Napa Valley College, and one on September 16th up at the Cameo Theater in St. Helena. And both those links are online that you can sign up. You will need to have tickets ahead of time. It's required for that. They're free, but you have to sign up ahead of time for that. So if you will, I think there's some flyers out there. Dale, are there flyers for that out in the lobby? Okay, so you can pick up flyers on your way out as well. And then I'm starting a new class in September, the middle of September. I'm doing something different, kind of an experiment to see. I'm offering the same class as Fully Awake and Truly Alive at 2 different times, same class, but I'm offering one in the morning on a Thursday at 9:30 in the morning, and one in the evening on Tuesday evening. So you can choose which one you want to be. And on top of that, there's even more flexibility to it. It can be in person or online or a combination. I know the last time this summer when I offered one, sometimes people be in person, sometimes online, so you can vary. I'd like you to stick with one, either Tuesday or Thursday class. And we need a minimum of 8 people in each class for them to go. So it's an experiment to see if there's interest in morning classes. It's easy for me to teach the same class twice. And also there's going to be a piece at the end of the class where there's small groups and you get to know each other better and connect with each other. And the whole point of this is about spiritual practices and connections that nurture our soul. And we're talking about that this month, and I think this is a chance to really get connected with other people who are interested in nurturing their soul and how we can nurture each other's soul in this way. So there's a sliding scale registration on that. Registration, not the welcome table today, but it'll be online today as well. And then also we're having in the middle of September a celebration of the autumn equinox, and we're actually bringing somebody from outside our community for Dance as a Universal Peace. So it's going to be a wonderful thing along with a ritual we do for the autumn equinox. And then every Wednesday we have open meditation at 6 p.m. You're always welcome to that. So now we'll begin with a sacred part of our service.
There is so much beauty in the There is so much healing going on.
There is so much wisdom in the universe. There is so much healing going on.
There is so much joy in the universe. So much healing going on.
There is so much love in the universe. There is so much healing going on.
There is so much peace. There is so much peace. There is so much healing.
So much joy in the universe.
There is so much healing going on.
Good morning. If you just close your eyes or soften your gaze, relax your muscles, clear your mind of all the distractions. Breathing in, breathing out, quieting the inner conversations. I know that there is a power of good which is responding to me and bringing into my experience everything that is necessary for my unfoldment, to my happiness, to my peace, to my health, and to my success. I know there's a power of good that enables me to help others and to bless the whole world. And realizing that the world is made up of people like myself, I bless the world and affirm that it shall come under the divine government of good, under the divine providence of love, and under the divine leadership of the Supreme Intelligence. So it is. How many of you feel better when you get things done? About 3 months ago, I got new tires on my car, and I was so proud of those tires. I said, just look at them. Don't they look good? What about taxes? Do you feel better when you have your taxes done, when you get that fat refund? Well, maybe not the refund part. Okay, here's another. How about that haircut? You've been needing a haircut. You finally get the haircut, or as my grandmother used to say, I just got my hair did. I used to be able to say that. Completing tasks like these makes us feel better because it makes us feel like we're taking care of ourselves. It makes us proud that we are adults after all. Except if you're a person like me who's been a procrastinator, but I'll talk to you about that later. I don't know about you, but I'm proud that I'm taking care of myself, whether it's physical, my car, my job. I just think I'm taking care of myself, and I'm so proud. But am I really taking care of myself? What about my soul? We naturally think these things are good, taking care of ourselves. But I would suggest that we need to take care of our souls more often and more steadily. Don't worry, I was going to talk about the difference between soul and spirit, but I don't have time today, so I'll skip that. But for today, let's go with the definition that the soul is a conglomerate of our thoughts, our will, our emotions, and our personality. The soul makes us who we are. It is our identity. How do we take care of our soul, though? Our founder, Ernest Holmes, said something like this: change your thoughts, change your world. Taking care of our soul means monitoring our thoughts. Whenever we think, I can't, it'll always be this way, I can't do anything about it, we have an opportunity to change that and change our circumstances. I can, I will, it will be done. And that's how we change our world. We replace the negative thoughts with the positive ones. Another way is promoting a healthy emotional life. Now, that's easier said than done for some of us, especially after COVID. Taking a walk, visiting a neighbor, going out into nature. These are the ways we take care of our emotional life and promote a healthy emotional well-being. Finally, we choose the activities that serve us. There are a lot of things we do that don't serve us, that serve to meet our detriment rather than being positive, uplifting our soul. And I think that also applies to people, too. There are people that are not good for our souls, that drag us down with negativity, animosity, and anger. So it's okay to distance ourselves from people that bring us negative thoughts and negative experiences. Excuse me. So also, the soul makes us all unique. It is important to our bodies. Our bodies are temporary. They are vessels that we drive around this whole earth. Soon they break down, and then our soul is released to the eternity. So while we are in our vehicles, take care of them, take care of your soul, and allow yourself the luxury, or actually the right, to live in peace and happiness. And so it is.
As I mentioned, we have 8 new members, and I just want to talk a little bit about what membership is. It's not a requirement here by any means, but it is an opportunity for you to learn more about our center and become more engaged in our center about what's happening here. And it's also a commitment to that it moves from being a center you attend to my center, that there's some ownership in there. And there's some ownership and also being engaged in certain ways. So we appreciate people that take the time to do that. Some of you have been going here probably 10, 15 years and still aren't members, but that's okay too. You're engaged because you're still here. So let me invite our new members up here at this time. Just come on up here, and I tell you what, you can stand. I think there's room for us on stage here. Let me just pull this off here. There we go. Boy, we might need a bigger stage. So last week, all 8 of these people participated in a class we had, and there was some good discussion about who we are and what we are. And also, I just want to let you know, a side note, that after this service, I think it's still going to be nice enough outside to be outside. And anybody that wants to, we'll set up a circle of chairs and ask any questions about the center you want to, or where we're going or what we're doing. And that's the kind of things we were able to talk about in our new member class last week. And so it's a privilege to be able to share who they are. And so we have Mark Pittman here, Erica, Kay Donnelly, Janet Taylor, Kit, who I can't remember her last name right now, Richards, and of course Jeff Richards, Suzanne James, and Donna. And you say your last name, Callens. Okay. Like California. There you go. Good way to remember it. So I appreciate all of you joining us, and I'd like to introduce you in another way, to ask you just to say one thing that you're interested in about this center, what brought you here, and watch the cord there, Donna. Oops. Thank you. So is the blue mic on? All right.
Hello, I'm interested in the center because of all the lovely people here. Everybody's so nice to everybody else and friendly. And also, I appreciate Reverend Jay's talks in the morning. He makes us all feel welcome. Thank you.
I came here to continue my spiritual growth and to seek that journey that takes place each and every day, and I'm so very grateful. I also appreciate Reverend Jay and each and every one of you, as this is one of the most beautiful centers in the world for our souls.
I've always wanted to experience my faith through spirit, and I like the messages that are conveyed here and how welcoming everybody has been from the first time that I came. It's very uplifting, and I'm happy to be here.
Janet Taylor, and I just appreciate so much that this center connects with the community in such a great way of helping other people and being diversified, that everybody is welcome here. And just to have the loving people here in this church, so friendly, and a lot of people that come new, that's the first thing they mention, how friendly everybody is here. So it's wonderful, and this is the best day ever.
We were looking for a faith community just recently, and we don't live very far from here, so we thought we would try out the spiritual center, and we were very happy with the community and the friendly people.
Even though we're new to the center, my first impression, which I really appreciate, is about the hope and optimism, an atmosphere of hope and optimism that you all have created here. And that's what's impressed me most so far. So.
I'm Suzanne James. I'm a transfer from Unity, where I belonged for about 10 years. I found the transition to this church very easy. It's very similar. And what I loved about Unity, I love about the spiritual center here, especially a community of kindred spirits. We all seem to be on the same track, unique, yet together. And I really appreciate that. I need other people. I need the music. I also enjoy having a full-time minister, which we did not have at Unity for 9 years. So we were in a dying phase. I could look at it now and see that, which is life, isn't it? And it brought me here. If Unity was still operating, I wouldn't even be here. So much to be grateful for. Thank you, every one of you. I appreciate you.
So I've been to a lot of different communities in different places, especially in the Bay Area and up in Seattle where I used to live, and back in Minnesota where I grew up. But this is the very first, and so far, first community, spiritual community that I actually took the step and said I'll be a member. So that's a long time, because I never found one that really called to me as much as this one does. And that's because this has a lot of positivity. Jay's messages are always amazing and spot on, and they always seem to be exactly what I need for the day or for the week. And so I don't know how he knows that, but it's fascinating. And the people are extremely friendly here, and I appreciate all of you for opening up your hearts and your friendliness to people who are newer to the community, both Napa and to the spiritual community. So thank you.
So as you realize, Donna was at other Centers for Spiritual Living. Suzanne, Erica, and Mark were part of the Unity. And also reach out to anybody else who was Unity. You have automatic membership, but you have to fill out a form and just talk to me about it. And also transfer some other centers for spiritual living, because you have a basic knowledge of who we are, and that's what I want. That's a main requirement of a member, is just to know a little bit about us, know what you're getting into, right? So, so it's so grateful to have all of you here. So I have both a certificate for them and a card. I don't know what people do with this card, but I always say that you're a card-carrying member now. So, so Mark, here are yours, and Erica. Maybe I'll go by and give all the certificates first. I'm having trouble juggling things. Kay, thank you. Janet, Jeff, and Kit, and Suzanne, and Donna. And then I'll go backwards here. Donna, Suzanne, Jeff. Yep, that's right. Yep. I hesitated there. Whoops, that was not right. How about this? So I'd like us all, in a moment, I'm going to ask you to raise your hands and just say, we love you, we care about you, we're here for you. Just like we do with the children, we do it for our new members too, right? So let's raise our hands. We love you, we care about you, and we're here for you. Let's give them a round of applause. All yours.
That was so cool. We always like to look at what Jay is going to talk about. And then a lot of times what happens is Saturday night before the gig, a song comes up. I'm just like, oh man, here's the muse again. So this is what happens Saturday night, and it's really fun when that happens. I feel like I'm in alignment or something.
Not that it's brand new. We started writing this in 2007, but only the chorus. It was a chant. So now it's a full-on song, and we're going to share it with you all here for the first time.
Maybe I'm afraid of the sounds of the night. Maybe I get triggered by words full of spite. But my thoughts are all affected when I feel connected to the love that is with me all the way. I cannot be hateful when I'm feeling grateful for everyday things that happen every day. I am free and alive. I am free and alive. Free and alive. I am free and alive. Free and alive. I am free and alive. I am free and alive. Maybe I'm working at a job that no longer feels right. Maybe I'm on stage and I have stage fright. Well, it all gets torn asunder, living in the wonder of the miracles around me every day. No longer in resistance when I ask you for assistance. I'm claiming my true freedom when I say I am free and alive. I am free and alive. 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 I am free and alive. I am free and alive. 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 I'm free and alive. I am free and alive.
I love it, love it, love it. It goes right along with our theme, so well done. You just like sit down and just songs just come, huh? What I love about music, about talks, about things we're led to, it's not sourced within ourself. It is ourself, it's not ourselves, and that's what I want to talk about. You know, what is our soul? So this month we're going to spend the whole month talking about caring for our soul, and that word means a lot of different things to a lot of different people. But I like the way that Sean described it as a culmination of ourselves, of all aspects of ourselves, because we're one being and we're connected with all that is. And there's also a part of it that is this spiritual essence, if you want to call it. This divine part of ourselves that some people call an inner guide, our higher self, our higher being. But it's an individualized part of ourselves, and yet it's connected to all that is. And also, many people, including myself, believe that this essence of ourself continues after we finish with this body, that our life is eternal. Some people think of it as this part of ourselves was alive and present before we came into this body. We are incarnated and continues after this body. We're finished with it. Some people even believe that we have multiple lives, that we have multiple bodies, that the same soul goes in from body to body, a reincarnation. I'm not sure about that. It's interesting, our founder, Ernest Holmes, he wrote an original book when he was just probably in his early 30s. He wrote about reincarnation and psychic phenomena and spiritualism because he was highly influenced by the spiritualism and he was curious. Basically, he was curious about these things. But he did a new edition of it, the second edition of it, just 8 years later, and he took all of that stuff out and just focused on the spirituality. And the reason he said was that it's possible that we're reincarnated, but it's a distraction to our spirituality. He wanted us to focus on this life we have right now. And I think I believe that too, because if I start thinking about, past lives and future lives, and I'm like up here, and my life is down here. My life is right here, and I've got enough to deal with without thinking about all that other stuff. About, there's enough of this life to deal with in thinking about other lives or other people's other lives, And Sean and I were working this week on an image for this month, and we came upon this beautiful sunflower. And the symbol of the sunflower is so amazing because it always follows the sun, right? As the sun moves, the sunflower moves to track it. And I feel like this is the sunflowers, our soul, that always points us in the direction of the light. That when we follow the soul, it will let us know what is the highest and best in any situation. And that we are open to it. And I also love this image because it just draws you in, the beauty of that flower that is right there. But also notice the bee. Because we are like the bee that needs to drink of the nectar of the flower to find the sweetness of life, to create the honey and the juice, the motivation, the aliveness we have. You'll also notice the stinger there too. But the bee doesn't lead with a stinger, only when in defense. And I'll talk more about that later because today we're talking about the sting of judgments. And our judgments, whether judgments we make or people make judgments about us, can sting. And today we want to learn ways to take the sting out of judgments. What I love about the whole idea about this soul is if you've read the Bible, the story of creation in Genesis is pretty amazing. I remember a few years ago when I was in ministerial school, I wrote a paper about Genesis, and my professor at that time said, "You might want to reread that." And I realized I was going off the story that I had heard, and I hadn't read it completely. And what's interesting, I do believe it's an allegorical story because there's too many inconsistencies in it. God created the earth twice and life twice, and it's really a merging of two different stories, historians say. But here's the interesting one. I thought that when I reread it, I never heard this part of the Bible before. When Adam and Eve eat of the apple, and they are going to be cast out of the Garden of Eden, and they're going to feel pain. That's what, according to God says, well, because you didn't obey me, you're going to feel pain. Well, it doesn't really say that. What it does say is it basically it's time for them to leave because they wanted to be conscious. They kind of were aware of good and evil. And God even said, now you are like us. And that was a plural in Genesis 2, which is also interesting, not a singular thing. Now you have chosen to be like us, so you are going to feel this pain because you're going to life. And then he put them in garments of skin. Think about that for a moment. Literally, garments of skin. So our soul was put into a body and sent to earth to live our life on earth. And yes, there's pain here. And yet, we're always seeking to come back to this Garden of Eden where we feel this inspiration, this divine connection, this divine love. And it's from this place where that pain becomes less painful. And we can even find joy and contentment even when our life is not working out the way we thought it might. And this is the key about the soul that I'm talking about, that when we reorient towards this soul, that we can open up in a greater way in our lives. Ernest Holmes said that no one can rob us of our soul, and our spirit is already one with the eternal goodness. I love that quote. First of all, he mixes up the word soul and spirit again, and we don't want to get caught in words. What we know is no one can take this soul away from us, this spiritual understanding, no matter what. And if people have been in slavery and concentration camps and in different kinds of abusive and trauma things, and they still found their soul, their conditions were terrible, and they found joy in their soul and a connection in their soul. So no one can rob us of that, and we are already one with this eternal goodness. The other thing I wanted to say is Edgar Cayce, you might have known. I mean, his work, in the 50s and 60s, I think it was. He used one of the Bible verses that Jesus said about, in my Creator's house, there are many rooms. And Edgar Cayce used that to, he was a medical intuitive and a psychic. He thought that was evidence that we have multiple lives. Once again, I don't know if we've had multiple lives or not, but I do know that once spirit is alive, what is alive cannot die. It can never die. And that it's not static either. Our soul is always evolving and changing and growing. So to me, this is the many rooms that Jesus was talking about. That it's expansive, it's moving, it's growing. And if we are attuned to our soul, it will evolve with us. It will create, it will show us the way to expand and move. I was walking a few years ago and I came across this beautiful snake skin. And at first I was amazed by it, but then I realized that's a big snake. I'm not sure I want to be around here anymore because that snake grew out of this skin and he's even bigger now. And it looked to me like a rattlesnake skin on top of that. But it also was a symbol to me about that's the way of nature, that we expand that which is our skin, expands and opens up so we have, when we die, we go on to a new expression, our next expression. I don't know what that is. Doesn't matter to me right now. I'll be curious and wonder when that time comes. I'm in no hurry. I also wanted to say that today marks the Sunday that, when I came here in 2014, Reverend Janet, the then minister, and I did co-ministry for about a month. We co-did some talk. She did a talk, I did a talk. But then this first Sunday of August, wasn't exactly the 4th, but the first Sunday in August, it was her last Sunday, and we waved her off goodbye, and this center was totally me. I was the spiritual director, not the co-director. And that was 10 years ago. And I'll tell you what, before I moved here in Napa, I was kind of a wanderer. I would change jobs, I would change houses and places I lived, because I always wanted to continue to grow and expand. Always, there was something more out there, and some of it was trying to seek that perfect thing, too, that I was kind of attached to. But as I came here, what's beautiful about this community is that I can grow and expand within this community. And there's space within this community for others to grow and expand. So I think that's important to mark this day, for an anniversary for me, but also a celebration of this community that continues to grow and expand in beautiful and wonderful ways. So it's kind of a little thing I brought some whipping cream to go with some watermelon I brought in, and so it's a small celebration, but it's symbolic of what that is. Be careful of it, though. Michelle's in charge of it. Let her. If you have trouble with it, let me know, because it's a home product that we do. So it's dangerous if you're not careful. So whipped cream in the hands of somebody untrained can be dangerous. So. But this whole idea that our judgments can sting. So we want to take the sting out of judgment. And what's important about this is that we humans, it's natural for us to discern and analyze. It's part of our way since caveman days that we've adapted and we have survived. So it's natural to do that in our environment to make sure it's a safe place, or for us how to fit in, how we can add, not only just in codependency kind of pleasing things, but how we can make a difference, how we can listen to people and understand them and find common ground. We do that. But we need to guard against those thoughts and discerning analysis to become judgments or false belief systems. And that's where our mindfulness comes in, that we create through this, that we notice when our judgments might have a bite, or that we feel the sting of somebody else's judgments. And the key is the soul is never judgmental. It is connected with spirit that is never judgmental. And any talk of God being judgmental, any conversation in the Bible or any minister or spiritual teacher that talks about judgment from a higher being, it's a lie. Meister Eckhart said any talk of God that's not comforting is a lie. So we're just going to call it out for that. I have grave concern about the movement of Christian nationalism here in the United States because it represents not Christianity. And there are so many people standing up for this thought, this idea, that I am proud of that. Our own organization just put out a statement that they were, that it's not in alignment with Spirit's highest and best, that Christian nationalism is not Christian, and it's about power and superiority. And then what I also appreciate is there are many Christian ministers who are standing saying this does not represent Christianity. And one of those, his name is, I'll get to his name here, James Tarlucci. James Tarlucci. And I just wanted to share a little, whoops, it may not be, nope, it's not loaded. Oh, well. So I was loaded on later on the website. But basically, he goes on to saying that Christian nationalism is really a heresy to Christian theocracy, Christian theology. It is a theocracy. And that if the way Jesus talked about it, he said, first of all, Jesus would never have Christian nationalism because what we know about the table of fellowship is open to everybody, including Buddhist, Hindu, Jewish, Muslim, Sikh, and our atheist neighbors. God would never have started this Christian theocracy because love wouldn't do that. The closest thing we have to the kingdom of heaven is a multiracial, multicultural democracy where power is. And it's truly shared among all people. God loves diversity. God loves variety. And just look at this big, beautiful planet of ours. Do you really think God would make all these beautiful people with all these beautiful traditions for no reason at all? So I appreciate the way he speaks up for this and the way that talks about the original intention of Christianity, which the early Christians were for 3 centuries. And that the first, I saw this online, the first Christian national was Constantine, who changed and edited the Bible, and he used it for the power merge of church and state. And that's what we're dealing with, coming back to that. And I appreciate that on values, I want you to look carefully on the elections this year. I'm not saying a particular candidate, but I'm saying vote for the values of spirituality, for what your soul opens up to you, and what is the power of the individual and the power of community that gets together for love and not hate, not oppression, not disconnection, that a few people can run things as they are. So what I know is also that the idea of the sunflowers and the bees that continue to enrich me, that we can take this sting out of the flowers. This was me in a field of sunflowers in Sacramento, outside of Sacramento, and I was just amazed by the sunflowers, and I noticed all the bees there. And what I know the truth is that I was in harmony, and they didn't sting me. And when we're in harmony, and we don't mess with others, so to speak, we just stay in that oneness, we don't have to be worried about stinging. And even if there was a sting, that it would be, Spirit is that healing balm within us that we know. So Ernest Holmes says, nature will not let us stay in one place for too long. She will let us stay just long enough to gather the experience necessary to the unfolding and advancement of the soul. This is a wise provision, for we should stay there too long, we would become too rigid, too set, to inflexible. So this is the nature of the soul, to continue to expand and be and live through us. So the final thing I want to say today is that we can be a friend to our soul and be a friend to the soul of others as well. There's the Celtic word anam cara, which means soul friend. But this soul friend is also something we can be to ourselves, a friend to our souls, to take time out, contemplative time to listen and be softened in this way. And also do this with other people, to listen to their soul. My favorite poet and writer, John Donahue, writes a beautiful blessing that he talks about here, that he talks about both about being a soul friend to ourselves and to others. And in this he says, may you be blessed with good friends. May you learn to be a good friend to yourself. May you be able to journey to that place in your soul where there is great love, warmth, feeling, and forgiveness. May this change you. May it transfigure that which is negative, distant, or cold in you. Isn't that beautiful? So when we soften, when we listen to the soul the way that we can let go of these things that are more negative. And then he goes on to say, may you be brought into the real passion, kinship, and affinity of belonging. May you treasure your friends. May you be good to them, and may you be there for them. May they bring you all the blessings, challenges, truth, and light that you need for this journey. May you never be isolated. May you always be in the gentle nest of belonging with your Anam Cara. So may you be blessed right where you are in this soul experience, this soul yearning, this soul aliveness that is yours. Let us go to prayer. We know that with this soul within us and around us is the truth of who we are, that is connected with the greater soul of the universe. And we just breathe into this moment, breathe into this truth that connects us with this soul. And we know this soul leads us towards the light. It takes the sting out of any judgment of ours or others. That this light leads us into greater expansion and growth, abundance, and clarity in all ways. There's healing and wholeness that is ours in this moment because we are tuning into the soul, into the light, and we know it is ours right now. And for this we're grateful today and always, and so it is.
Well, we had a song planned, but our band didn't show up.
I think the band got lost somewhere in a vineyard. So we thought we'd do a sing-along with you. I just want to thank you for all you bring to me. I just want to thank you. Your love has set me free. I just want to thank you for all you bring to me. I just want to thank you. Your love has set me free.
just wanna thank you for all you bring to me. I just wanna thank you. Your love has set me free.
Thank you for being patient with me.
I just love songs like that that are kind of, in some ways romantic. Yes. When you say your love has set me free, but it's talking about spirits, the big one, the big love with a capital L. That's
the
right.
divine romance
has set us free. So great song. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good improv there, since the band didn't show up. So.
Big crowd.
So this time at our service, we invite you to be part of the law of circulation. If we could have our ushers come forward. We know that which you're giving supports our vision and mission, allows us to continue to doing this work that we're doing. And I also know that which you give comes back to you in a flow of abundance and joy and love. So we're grateful for that. So if you would take what you're giving, either from the past, now, or in the future, and place your hand over your heart to represent that which you are. And in gratitude, say this affirmation on the screen with me. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate, and so it is.
I give you my soul song. I give you my heart song. I give you my joy song. I give you my love song.
I give you my soul song.
I give you my soul song.
I give you my heart song.
I give you my heart song.
I give you my joy song.
I give you my joy song.
I give you my love song.
I give you my love song. I give you my soul song. I give you my heart song. I give you my joy song. I give you my love song. I give you my love song. I give you my love song. I love you guys.
We'd like to acknowledge anybody who might be here for the first time. We have a blessing for you. If you're willing to raise your hand, we have something to give you. I know it's hard to be the only person who's new, isn't it? We also, this is the first of the month, so we like to acknowledge birthdays and anniversaries. So does anybody have an August birthday? I know I do. Other people, yes. We've got some August birthdays back there around. Wonderful, wonderful. And how about anniversaries? Does anybody have an anniversary? Oh, how many years? 42. Wow. And Karen? 55. Wow. I don't know if we're going to have anybody else say anything after that. Those are great. Anybody else have an anniversary? A kiss-iversary. Yeah.
August 15th.
All right. Mark a red letter date. Huh? That's great. And then also, I honor anybody whose recovery birthday, anniversary lies in August too. We don't ask you to identify yourself, but because it's anonymous. but we also know that this is a celebration to have. So we honor your path in recovery as well. So we do have a blessing here for our new people, our birthdays, our anniversaries, all of it. So we just raise our hands and we say, we bless you today, knowing that the peace and happiness you seek is also seeking you. We honor your inner radiance as you let your light shine in the world. We are grateful for your presence in our community, and so it is. So I'm going to invite all the new members to walk out with me. So if you guys can park the way to come out there, and they're going to be out there and greeting people. So that would be great when we end the service here. And then, are there any married, no children today? So one child here today. So so Sawyer's here. So we do have a blessing for Sawyer here. So we say, we love you, we care about you, and we're here for you. Remember, after some fellowship and coffee, we're going to meet outside just to talk about the center, any questions you might have. And thank you, everybody, for being here today. Let's all stand up for the congregational effort. Practitioners, if they could come forward, please. Prayers are available after the service. Come on up, Monica. It doesn't matter. You know how to pray. So if you want prayer after the service, just stay seated. Everybody else will move out with their conversations out into the courtyard, and we want to keep this as a sacred place. So thank you, practitioners, for being here for everybody else. Repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening through me today. I am led by Spirit. I'm guided by wisdom. I'm protected by love. I'm here to be a blessing. I'm so grateful. And so it is. And now our closing song. Let's take care of our soul and take the sting out of judgments. Have a great Sunday. Here come Mark. Let that come by.
Welcome to the Napa Valley Center for Spiritual Living. We are a vibrant, inclusive, and spiritual community that seeks to live intentionally, love unconditionally, and see God in all people and in all faiths. We believe the work we do in prayer and in the community creates a world that works for all cultures, races, orientations, and faiths. For over 60 years, we have practiced thinking globally and acting locally to help awaken humanity to its spiritual magnificence. Annually, hundreds of people actively participate in our services, classes, events, and in our Spanish-speaking ministry. And we are training the next generation of spiritual leadership in our ministerial school. In the last few years, because of apparent divisions politically and socially, and because of threats to basic human rights, we have magnified our application of science of mind principles with engagement and compassion in action in the greater Napa Valley community. Our members have participated in women's marches, pride events, and we have hosted speakers on racial issues. We have empowered and mentored diverse leaders in our community and given scholarships to diverse ministerial students. We have donated over 4,000 pounds of food to our local food bank. Our spiritual director, Reverend Jay Lang, has facilitated an interfaith leadership group to hold public prayer vigils and 9/11 commemorations in participation with Jews, Muslims, and Christians. We have fostered the creation of a beloved community in the larger Napa Valley area by honoring community heroes at events and tithing to and partnering with a dozen different nonprofits that share our vision. Together, we've created a Martin Luther King Day of Service where over 1,200 participated in community service annually. The leadership of our parent organization, the Centers for Spiritual Living, headquartered in Golden, Colorado, recognized our community for all of the outstanding, compassionate work we've been doing over the last few years with the 2022 Meritorious Community Award. As we move forward to do this work of the heart, to awaken the world to its spiritual magnificence, will you join us as we continue to ascend to new heights and create a world that works for everyone?